Hey everybody, listen, we're gonna start. I want to welcome everyone to Morning Coffee with me, Ivan Sutton, of course. And today we're going to talk about sales. That one thing that we all love to do, the thing that gets us all excited when we're looking at the phone, thinking we're going to pick it up and make some calls. So we're going to chat about that. But first, I just want to chat about some of the things that are going on this week. By the way, it was nice to see live some of our members that we hadn't seen before that came by the office for our open house on Canada Day. We even had a member travel 110 kilometers from the far end of Scarborough to get here. That was really nice. So thank you very much. So today, right after work, we have our work group lounge that's happening right after this call. So members stick around and we'll just hang out until noon. And then this afternoon, Sherry Lozier has the Business Builder Mastermind that starts at 1 o'clock, and it's not to be missed, of course. Then tomorrow, Tuesday, we have our City Leader Call, and that goes from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock. And then Wednesday night, we have our Investing Club with Stephen Lee. And Thursday morning, we have Tech Talk with Catherine Davies. Catherine, anything happening?
We actually have a guest speaker, which is Adam Kafachi from Adamant Enterprises. And Adam is like so knowledgeable. It'll be amazing.
Yes. Adam's brilliant and quite entertaining. So, okay. And that's
but we're going to have to wake him up because he never shows up till 10 because it's 9:30 too early for him.
He needs his morning coffee. That's what it is, right? And then at 1 o'clock on Thursday, folks, the control panel, your dashboard, there's training for that on Thursday at 1 o'clock. So just make sure that you give Maggie a call so we can get you on that call. So all those amazing features that you guys have, I'd like to see you guys using it as much as possible. Those that are using it can attest that they're fantastic and they're great for driving traffic to your website. Okay, so with that, today we're going to talk about sales. Now, if you were to ask most small businesses when they thought about creating their company, the one thing that they didn't really delve into too much was sales. They didn't think about it too much because we all, when we started our businesses, we thought sales, we'll just rely on our families because they're going to support us and they're going to refer their friends and we're not going to have any issues, right? But then the reality hits, right? And then you have to make sales. So what would you think is the best tool for prospecting that gives you the best return?
Customers that you already have?
It's okay. Go ahead, Catherine. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, Ivan. I was going to say customers you already have.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Aman.
I believe meeting people face to face, or it could be over the Zoom. Prospecting people, that's one of the best practices that you can do. Right now, social media is also there. It takes a lot of part in it. But what I believe in sales, it's mostly you have to build a relationship with your prospect. And the best way to build a relationship is face-to-face. Now, face-to-face could be through Zoom, FaceTime, or meeting in person.
Okay. How many people do cold calls and love it? There's always one. There's always one who loves cold calls.
I hate it.
Lindsay, okay. Lindsay loves cold calling. I'm going to read out some stats like I did last week, and I'd love to get your feedback on them because I just find them so interesting when it comes to sales, right? How many people think that email is good for sales? Email. How many people love getting sales emails? How many? No? A lot of hands up, right? But David's got his hand up, though. He knows that email is actually really good for sales. In fact, email ranks the highest. Isn't that crazy?
Now I have a question.
Yep.
In regards to emails, because of the spam laws in Canada, and I've warned clients about this myself. is that it's very difficult to send unsolicited emails. Problem with sales is sending those unsolicited, that I found anyways, is those unsolicited emails. It's fine if you want to send an email from Canada to the US, they don't care. But in Canada, you can be charged
Big
for
time.
sending unsolicited emails.
Yep. So email in Canada, everybody knows about the Castle laws. There's some hefty fines. I mean, in some cases up to $10,000 per email.
Wow.
So that per complaint, right? So that could be pretty hefty. However, your email strategy, and we'll get into this a little bit later on, but your email strategy is about how to gather emails, right? How to get people to opt in, to give you permission to send emails. And you see a lot of folks doing all kinds of things. I mean, how many times have we landed on a website and they say, hey, listen, why don't you download our e-guide, or why don't you download this and sign up for this here? And of course, the condition is I get to send you emails, right? So there are all kinds of really sexy little tools that you can use, but sending out email seems to have the best response. In fact, email is 40 times more effective than getting new customers than Facebook and Twitter combined, right? In fact, I'll tell you this. So email marketing, 88% of marketers, they're currently using this to acquire customers, but the actual impact on their revenue is 8.3%. How much do you think social media is? If email marketing is 8.3%, we already know that it's better than most, right? Where do you think social media stands in there for marketing?
Probably about 3 or 4%.
Okay. Anybody else?
Less than 2.
Less than 2. Yeah, it's 3.1%. So I'll give you the top right now. Direct mail is 29%. 22% is word of mouth, and then you have email marketing at 8. Sorry, then you have content marketing and SEO. So your website and optimizing your website is at 9.1%, and then email marketing at 8.3%. Social media is somewhere down there at 3.1%. Right. So when you're looking at a campaign to build sales, right, it's good to have something comprehensive, right? Because I mean, sales, 50 years ago was either picking up the phone or going and knocking on doors, right? And today, sales is complicated. It's complex. You can still do it the old way, which it'd be interesting to see what the results are, right? To see somebody who goes the old traditional way, knocking on doors, or phone calling, versus those that actually use all of these social media, digital tools, content marketing, and other types of marketing. All right, email marketing has a 2% higher ROI than cold calling. I mean, think about that, right? Catherine, you have an email marketing platform, right? All right, how much control do you have? Do you mind telling us what it is?
Yeah, I use Constant Contact, and I've got like complete control. And in fact, they're amazing. I love Lindsay, but just because she's a friend, I got to pay her for her skills, right? Constant Contact has a whole slew of how to get stuff out, things, how to celebrate, how to put in the proper subjects, how to use emojis, a video, right? They talk about all that stuff. Yeah.
And what I love about Constant Contact, Catherine and Ivan, is that they will design a newsletter or something to your branding, so that everything's consistent.
Right. And they give you all your promotional material too, if you want to go out and try to market it yourself.
Yeah.
I would give them all my clients if I could, if I trusted them for 2 seconds.
So how many people are using Constant Contact? Obviously 3 so far, right? Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
I got Constant Contact certified about 6 years ago.
Fantastic.
So I can do all the, as Dave said, all the branding, marketing, and everything for my clients, which is what I do.
So Deirdre, does it shock you sometimes when people go, email? Really? Like, I mean, you know the results, right?
Yeah, and it's really about the branding, and some of my clients just don't get the branding component. I don't even have a logo. And we've had clients that have been in business for like 20 years and they didn't even have a logo, so we had to build them logos. You know, and they don't even have email addresses. They have a Gmail or an Outlook or a Hotmail, and it's like, you're building, you have a brand, you need to use your URL and have an email, even if it's sales or info. You need to have that because it's all about building your brand. And if somebody wants to buy from you, they're going to basically see, okay, well, how professional are these guys? If they have a Gmail account, it doesn't come across as professional.
You know, okay, so Deirdre brings up a really interesting point, right? Right? Because, I mean, before, you'd think that sales would be just, you know, a person going out there and making a sale. But how many times, if someone makes a pitch to us, do we actually investigate? Do we go online and check them out? Do we look at their social media? Do we look at, you know, there's so many different places that we go to verify because there's so many scams out there, right? So we're constantly evaluating. So when you see a Gmail account, as Deirdre's saying, or you see somebody who has a website that's a little sketchy, you know, it's tough. In fact, I think recently someone in Brantford posted that they just launched a new website, and I clicked on it and it said site not found, right? So I thought, okay, well, it's either a wrong link, right? I mean, a typo or something. But the bottom line is it's kind of important, right? Because that kind of throws a little bit of cold water on your ideas of using that company. So anybody else on that, on the whole email marketing?
Yeah, I think what's really important with the email aspect is when you're sending out emails, you can't just send out, you know, cold sales emails. You know, people might open one, they might open a second one if you're lucky. And then after that, they just filter you out and that's it. You have to be offering them something. There has to be something of value in the header that makes them want to open it in the first place. And then once they get into it, there has to be something of value to them there. It can't always be about you trying to sell them. It's what can you do for them, you know? And I think that's really important because if you're doing something for them, they'll open your next email and the one after that and the one after that. I think a lot of people miss that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. In fact, David, you are building that relationship, right? Someone
Absolutely.
Was saying before,
Absolutely.
Building a relationship over time. Aman was saying that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mark.
Yes, Mark.
I was just going to throw in, ask the question about how you get past. My interest is in prospecting rather than dealing with existing customers. How do you get past, past the legal barriers as well? But how do you get past spam filters? A lot of people have filter systems there that are going to block a lot of emails and treat them as spam, so they never even see them in the first place. How, you're talking about, and Dave came up with a great point there about offering them something so that they're going to click on it and open it, but if they don't even see it in the first place, you're blocked. How do we get past that barrier?
Well,
sorry,
I was just going to say, using Constant Contact or some large emailing program like that is recognized by the web, so they're not going to automatically get the backs up, right?
Yep.
And having a professional email.
Yeah.
I don't use Hotmail except when I want something for free and I don't want to hear from you again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when somebody gives me a Hotmail, I go, oh, that was a waste of email.
And I think, Mark, really, it comes down to, as Ivan said earlier, if you come to a website and let's say an investing website, you want to invest in the stock market. And so you go to, MarketBeat, okay, and you look at them and they say, hey, click here and you get some great information and we'll send you emails. I want to get that information, right? So if they send me emails and it's just all them trying to push crap, I'm going to block that.
Right.
But initially, for the first email or two, I've said, I'm interested in this. So make it interesting. It has to continuously be of value to the person. If they've signed up on your email list, they basically said, I want to hear from you.
Yep.
So it's basically creating a website or a place where you can build that list at, and then keeping them. It's like any business. It's easier and cheaper to keep somebody than it is to try and keep prospects, new people. So what you want to do is basically, once you've got them on that list, you want to keep them by continuously giving them value.
And another thing too, David, is that Constant Contact, and there are others out there, but Constant Contact, they'll tell you whether your address, what your subject line is too salesy, right? So they'll give you an evaluation on that.
Sure.
But even if you're not using it, I've seen people that use their Outlook to send out spam, right? And so their IP gets blocked.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to use somebody else's tool, right? And to deploy your email, and make sure that you don't say, save on whatever, right? Or big promotion or whatever it is. You just have to word it, because no one's going to open it anyway if it says, save this, if they're not directly interested in it, right?
And if you can personalize it, it's always great, because if they've signed up for your email list and they've given you their email, some places that I've signed up to will ask you for at least for a first name. They don't want to ask you for anything more than that. Just what's your name, what's your first name and email. Now, some people will put in a fake name or whatever else, that's going to happen. But the people who put in their names, when you send out the emails, put the name in the email. Mark, you were interested in this, whatever else, however you want to put it. So now you're seeing your name. Now that's going to make you, okay, somebody knows me.
Now spammers actually use your name too, right?
They do. They do. Of course they do. But it does give you a better shot. It's all in percentages.
Actually, you know what? So with that point, and by the way, members, stick around during the work group, because we can flesh this out even more. And we'd love to delve into that, especially about the email marketing side. But I do want to chat about phone calls. So it says 92%, even today, 92% of our customer interactions happen over the phone, right? So, it's funny. One of the complaints I've gotten before is that, people use email too much. Instead of phoning them, they send email. And there's always this frustration where, okay, a question is asked in an email, then an answer is given, then a rephrasing of the question because they didn't get the right answer, and then an answer, and back and forth. And they just prefer, just give me a call, right? So 85% of the prospects and customers were dissatisfied with their on the phone experience. Right? So why is that? And how does that impact future sales, right? David says once you spend all that time and energy and resources to get that customer, you could lose that customer just by not paying attention to the small things like the phone call experience.
I hate talking on the phone, to be honest, unless it's like my daughter or somebody. I mean, I could talk to her for 3 hours, but
So are we just afraid that the customer is going to ask us something that we just don't know the answer to? Is that what it is?
I usually find after, like you say, 1 or 2 emails, it's just like, oh, really? It's just easier just to call, right?
Yeah.
Google, call so-and-so company, right? And talk to them. But what I found is, because I've got all this information I want to give them, because it's a common question, I want to talk over them. And I've got to really watch myself that I let them ask the question. And just like in a presentation, you confirm, did I answer your question? Did we get everything settled? Right.
And it's funny because a lot of our customers, right? I mean, we're in the middle of developing a website for them or whatever it is, a campaign. And one of the things that we do is I just call them in that process. I phone them a lot. I call them all the time. I prefer for them to feel that they are the slowest link in that chain. And, we're cool. I mean, we're always friendly. Hey, take your time. I just want to make sure the process moves along, right? But I want you to know that you can never look back and say, you know what, he never called me. You know, did anybody hear from Ivan or
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? You want to make sure that they go, oh my God, it's Ivan again. Oh, did we get that thing done for him yet? Okay, don't answer, right? That kind of thing. I prefer that than the other side of it. All right. Anybody's thoughts on that?
Yeah, for me, Ivan, like you, I prefer
see
the
you,
phone
Stephanie.
call.
Yes.
I prefer the phone call because it generates a conversation of ideas that otherwise we may not have thought about. It encourages brainstorming, and you get to the details a whole lot quicker. And
Yes.
I feel that I form that rapport because I want them to buy from me because they really like me. So I feel that I can build that better through that phone call.
Through the phone call. Absolutely.
Sure.
Stephanie, you're going to say something.
I was going to say, I all my whether it's social media campaign or an email campaign is always, let's hop on a call. Let's hop on a 20-minute call to talk, because the minute we hop on a call and talk, you usually close the sale, because if they're that interested to hop on a call with you, they're hot. They're a super, super warm lead for you.
Absolutely. That call is an opportunity for you to upsell as well, right? I mean, not that you're trying to get as much out of the prospect, but I'll tell you something, that the email process is the conveyor belt, right? And then the conversation is the Tesla. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it just kind of escalates things. Go ahead, David.
I think, Ivan, too, is like once you've had a phone call or two, and you've personalized yourself with the person, it's not just, it's gone past the email.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're solidifying that connection. You know, you're putting a voice to the person. And I think that really kind of helps to build. That way, the next time you're sending an email, they've got that a little bit more of a connection to you, so they're more likely to open it and contact you and everything else. Once a person made a suggestion on another Zoom, I think it was another Zoom, on so many, but they said whenever you're talking to somebody, whether it's in person or over the phone, picture them with a sign around their neck that says "Make me important." And that's what you want to do when you're talking to them, when you're dealing with them, is just keep that in mind, that people want to feel like they're the important person in the conversation.
Absolutely.
And I think the phone call kind of helps create that environment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a. Oh, sorry. Did you have your hand up, Aman? No, you didn't. Okay. All right. So that segues right into the next point. It says that that if those online forms, someone submits that form, if you respond to that person within 5 to 15 minutes, they have a higher likelihood that they're going to buy from you. All right. We learned this thing years ago. We were dealing with a company called Rackspace, and I remember it was 2:00 in the morning, and I filled out the form because I was looking for another hosting company, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and I loved their sign because it said, "We offer fanatical service." I thought, fanatical service sounds good. Let me fill it out. And within 5 minutes, I got a phone call at 2:00 in the morning from someone who sounded very much awake and enthusiastic and really happy to talk to me. And I'll tell you something, to this day, I sing their praises, right? They are an amazing company. Notification that allows us to respond to our clients within 5 minutes. Anybody?
I found that busy customers, when they send that stuff in, they almost like send it out and then forget about it. But if you're able to call in and give them the information or the discussion or whatever, they go, "Oh yes, thank you. I almost completely forgot about that." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because mine's safety training, so it kind of falls down till it's like do or die kind of stuff, right? So, yeah.
I do respond quickly, but I don't normally do it by phone. It depends on the individual. If they email or send a message through, I send a message, as soon as I get it. I send something right back. I think if you can do a phone call, great. It depends on the type of business you're running. But any kind of communication that you can do right away to them makes them feel like, wow, I am important. I sent this out. They sent right back. That's why on a lot of sites you'll see it. It'll tell you, how long it's been since you've responded. And that's really an important factor when you look and say, this person responds within 14 days. Oh wow,
Yep, absolutely. It is. Sorry, go ahead, Iman.
Actually, this is not related topic. I don't want to break the flow, but the context that you guys have been talking. So I'm into financial services. I'm working independently, and whatever I have done so far, it's all very traditional, like calling friends and family, getting references, and getting references from the client. But email marketing, and then as you were talking about, filling out a form and then responding within 15 minutes, I'm very new to it. So I just want to bring this point. If anybody in this group that can, because I won't be able to stay for too long, if anybody in this group can help me out, how to start and where to start from, because I don't have a website as well as of now. And some of the guys, they brought a very good point. If you have to be professional, you have to have your website, and then you have to have your URL and everything like that. So I believe I'm very brand new to it, because all my practices for my business has been very traditional, straight out flat. So and I'm glad that I came to this group of amazing people that can pretty much help me out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my LinkedIn. Yeah, if you can help me out, please connect with me. Because it will be a really great help to scale my business. So I just wanted to say that point.
So Aman, go ahead and put your information in the chat window.
Yeah,
and also everyone else as well, please put your information in the chat window so that everyone can connect with everybody. We love that whole referral thing. So definitely go ahead. You're finishing up there, Aman?
Yeah, I'm that, because I won't be able to stay. I'll be maximum able to stay for 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
And then I have to hop onto another call, but I'm glad I meet amazing people. I
nice.
Really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm just going to hop on my information in the chat box.
Please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. One other point I'll point out as well is that 92% of salespeople give up after 4 no's. By the way, it's even worse than that. Most salespeople give up after 1 no. Right. But 80% of respondents say no 4 times before they say yes. So basically, yeses come between the 5th and the 8th contact, right? So imagine that, Thomas, where's Thomas? Okay. Imagine that you're traveling to Granddad's Donuts, right? And you get all the way to Hamilton, and then you give up and you go home back to Windsor. That's like giving up on the sale, right? I just want to make sure I contextualize that for you. All right. So how many of us are afraid after the 4th time we kind of feel like we're bugging them?
No, I keep at it till they want to shut their windows and blinds and won't answer the door anymore.
Yeah, Sheila, you're nodding.
I always feel like I'm bothering people. So I recently discovered that email might be a little bit nicer, because then it's not me. But again, it's part of just trying to step out there and not be afraid, I guess.
Yes, fear. Go ahead. Sonny, I don't know. You're a startup, a 3-year startup. So is there fear in reaching out to people more than 4 times? I mean, if they keep putting you off and say, oh, you know what, Sonny, can you call me next week? Or give me 2 months. After 2 months, do you say, he's not going to be interested?
Well, that's why I didn't show up anytime. But usually when people aren't interested, because I've only been generating my own clients recently, and it's usually because my price is too high. So I don't really bug them to say, you should be able to afford this, the value. Like, you bring up the discussion of value and try and get that across. But a lot of the time, I'm not going to expect them to pay more if it's out of budget. So I'm not going to bother them. I haven't had too many sales situations yet. So I'm still learning how it goes.
No, man, am I so curious to figure out how you prospect? We're going to have a conversation sometime.
It has actually been where I got most of my leads.
Cool.
Just throwing an ad on Kijiji and the skilled trade section
Cool.
for services.
If I could,
And
sorry.
Yeah, Deidre, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Sunny, even though you're a startup, do not undervalue what you offer. And that's the biggest thing. And that's what a lot of companies do. They undervalue what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's almost one of those, are you the Honda or are you the Cadillac or are you something in between?
And I have been through that. I learned, like, in the first few years of business, I would do something for someone and say, oh yeah, that'll be like $40. I figure 2 hours work, $20 an hour. And then I realized, like, I run a business. There's a lot more to it than that. And I've also been listening to a flooring podcast of a guy who goes over just problems in the industry, and one of it is undervaluing. And so I was able to learn that, thankfully. And now I am kind of look at myself as the higher quality and a higher price. When people try and talk me down, I say no. Like, my price is my price.
Are you in? Just sorry to off topic here. Are you in the flooring industry, Sonny?
Yes, I am a flooring installer.
Okay, so there's a site that you want to go to because I used to be their business manager. It's called the Canadian Flooring and Cleaning and Restoration Association.
I am a member. Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
And they have a training class coming up July 12th that I look forward to attending.
And
Yes.
and connect with
I love
me
it.
here,
Connect
or,
with us here.
we should connect because I can put you together with a lot of different people.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Before we do the networking around where we go around and tell each other what we do, I wanted to talk about one other thing, and that is personality. You know, I mean, we all have great personalities, I'm sure, right? I mean, you know, we're all here, right? But the point is that sometimes I'll meet a sales guy. This is somebody that I've gone out with, I've had coffee with, whatever. We have great conversations, and then I'll go on the road with them, and they default to being this kind of platonic salesperson, this vision of what a salesperson should be. They strip themselves out of the equation. Their personalities, their quirkiness, their weirdness, right? Their weirdness is what makes people like them, right? It makes them stand out against somebody else. And so, how much are you comfortable being yourself in all your quirky glory when you are doing sales, when you are interacting with people, when you go out to a networking event? How comfortable? Stephanie, I'm going to pick on you first. I'm sorry, guys. And you're on mute, Stephanie.
Oh, the more I show my quirkiness, the more people magnetize and lean in and resonate with you. Like, the more I talk about my woo and talking to women about their hormones and the moon cycle and my dandelions in my backyard and making tea with them. Those are the social media posts that people are like, what? Seriously? You can do that? That makes a difference? And those are the ones that I get responses from.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I find it's just easiest to be yourself. And people, generally resonate being more dealing with a person than, like, the professional that you try to be. They like dealing with
That's right.
the personality of each individual person they meet.
Is that old expression, Ivan? You've got to be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
Good. That's a good one, David. I love that.
I would probably.
I'm going to pick on Lindsay here because talking about personality out loud. Lindsay stands out to me because she's always Lindsay. I don't care whether we've gone out for a coffee
or if you're
always
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Oh.
You want to pick out me? Yeah, that's fine. Basically, I don't know. To be very honest, like, I just am me, so it seems to work out so far.
That's right.
And the moment that it doesn't work for me, I'll let you guys know. Some constructive feedback.
That's right. And, think about the personalities around this room. I mean, I know most of you, I know a lot of you anyway. I've met, most of you, I think, but every single one of you I think if someone were to describe you, I know exactly who they're talking about, because your personality. So, so definitely don't strip that out of who you are when you're out there doing sales. And not only that, but you're always selling. Just remember that as long as you're not by yourself, you're always selling. People are looking at you to see if you're representing your brand, consistently, or whether something's just a little off, right? So you're constantly being viewed. Okay, so go ahead, David.
Just one quick thing. I think that most people, because when you try and be somebody you're not, it's uncomfortable, and most people get a sense of that.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to be somebody else, you come across as, wrong, I guess is the word. And so when you slip back into being yourself, into your comfortable skin, it's easier and more flowing, and people feel that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So here's the fun part. We're just going to go around.
I was actually going to make a point about the whole thing. I actually had something that I was going to say, which is that a lot of communication and communicating who you are also depend, and doing all this other kind of stuff for your business also depends on the person who you're delivering that to. I think that otherwise it's self-indulgent. You're doing it for your own sake. I think that it's kind of important to keep in mind different aspects of your personality or the way that you convey information that other people may find overwhelming if they are not of the same background as you, if they're not in the same industry as you, if they don't have the same knowledge base as you. It helps because at that point, you're figuring out a way to communicate the same ideas, but in a way that anybody else can understand if they just walked into the conversation and they could talk about it. So be yourself, but also be wary of the person in front of you. They may not know everything that you're saying, right? And that's up to you to try and help parse that in a way that's readable for everybody.
Yeah, great point. Anybody else on that? Okay.
Actually, Ivan, I was just going to say, I don't know if you can hear me actually.
Yeah, of course. Sherry.
Okay. I have a weird lag going on, so sorry. I was just going to say that, one of the primary key things that everybody needs to do when they're developing their marketing strategy really is about knowing who your client is, knowing who your target audience is. And I would say 90% of the time, our target audience is ourselves, is who we enjoy spending time with and we like talking about and we enjoy hanging out with. And so that's usually people who are like us. So we tend to be attracted to people who are like us. And so in return, you need to put out there who you are as you are to attract those same people. So I think that people kind of forget that the whole thing is, if you're not being the person that you truly are underneath, they're not getting to see that, and they're less likely to actually resonate and be interested in doing business with you. Because I know lots of people who work in some of the industries that I have, 10, 15 contacts with, but there's a reason why I chose the one that I worked with. And that was because it was the relationship, it was the connection, it was, whatever came from that. So keeping in mind that we're all going to encounter 47,000 other people who do marketing or coaching or, whatever it might be, you want them to connect with you because of who you are, not just because of what you do in business. I don't actually want to do business with someone who I don't connect with, I don't have a good rapport with, right? And most people would probably say the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I completely agree. Sorry, I was just going to say, I went to lots of business shows and was starting to get the idea that I needed a more professional website. And I love all you guys, but you're a dime a dozen. Like there's tons of you out there, right? And so, but it was over meeting Teresa and Ivan at, I don't know, 2 or 3, and then we I guess because we were from the same area, kind of got put in the same area of the expo. And I was just pulled to their personality, right? I didn't really care too much else about the website because I think everybody's probably pretty darn close. So it's been a great working relationship for X amount of years. I don't know.
Especially web developers, right? I mean, there's one on every corner, right? I mean, so everyone has a cousin who's a web developer, right? So, there's a million of us. And so how do you stand out? You're absolutely right. Okay, folks, listen, I want to do something a little different today. I'm hoping that through this networking, we can actually help each other. If there is a company that you don't know, that you'd like to know, that you'd like to be able to connect with, let us know. And if someone here knows someone in that company, somebody that works for that company, let's see if we can refer you to that business. Okay? Does that sound cool? Huh? Neat. Okay, we're gonna try this and see how it works today. All right. So just give us the name of the company and why you want to get in there, and we'll try and help you sort it out. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, I would love to get into Foxcroft or Fox 40 for first aid and CPR training.
What is Fox 40, Catherine?
It's the whistles that were developed for the NBA, and I think just about every professional referee use the whistles.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, it's here in Hamilton.
I think that company is actually the same company that owns Fluke Transport. Is it not?
Yeah, it's Foxcrofts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if anybody knows somebody there, please connect with Catherine and see if you can connect them. That'd be amazing. Okay, Deirdre.
En ze kloppen als het weer.
Because we've just relocated to Windsor, I'd really like to connect with the city of Windsor.
The city itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because my business partner and I, we offer organizational and cultural change development, and I've done some work with Region of Halton, City of Guelph, all of the municipalities on getting people to work together. And because the City of Windsor has a new CAO, it's an opportune time because he's already making strategic changes.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool. All right. I don't know. We've got some folks here from Windsor. So please, if you know anybody at the City of Windsor, go ahead, Marek.
Yeah, I'm friends with 3 of the city councilors. So I can hook you up with a few of them there. Sure. That's
awesome.
Not a problem.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. You're up, David.
Oh, me? I want to know this guy Yuri. I really want to connect with him, and because I just bought into this moving business, and I'd like to connect with real estate people up in the TO area. Where right now we're basically just working Windsor to London, but we want to expand up into the TO area. So I heard this guy Yuri is connected up there. So if you know anybody who can connect me with him,
we can kind of work that out.
Anytime.
I think you should ask for a finder's fee, Ivan.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes. I'm gonna just mute you both and yeah. So definitely, you guys connect. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go with Sheila.
Can I get back to you on that? I'm like all over the place right now.
You're probably racking your brain thinking about it ever since I said it, weren't you? Oh, the anxiety. Okay, yeah, okay, no problem. We'll come back to you on that, Sheila. Sonny, go ahead.
I'm in the same boat as Sheila. I don't.
Yeah, do you do corporate? You do corporate work too, right? Sonny?
Pardon?
You do corporate work?
What do you mean by corporate?
Like you don't just do residential. You do commercial, right?
I do mostly residential. I'm not equipped for commercial, but
okay,
like I could potentially.
Okay,
but it seems more stressful. I prefer residential.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You got to know
I like going to the people's houses, dealing with the clients, like the smaller areas.
Don't want to deal with the board. I hear you.
Where are you at, Sonny?
Brantford.
Okay. You and I should talk.
Okay.
All right. Connection. I love it. Okay, Lindsay.
It's really hard. I'm sorry, guys. I have a lot of connections in a lot of places, so I've been placing them like on chess pieces. But to be very honest, I would really like to get in touch with somebody who knows like a restaurant or a coffee shop, to be very honest. I have lots of friends in that industry, but I've probably tapped out that resource for now until the pandemic is at least over. So if you know anybody in like, I was thinking about Collective Arts the other day. So if anybody knows like any of the major breweries in downtown Hamilton, that would be stellar, to be very honest. It keeps coming up that I need to have like live events at some point, and I just want to have like a home basically for my events for the future.
Oh yes, please have one at Collective Arts. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
I have a friend who does trivia there, and they're very responsive, but they're being selfish right now just because of they know that they can get the masses in without needing to do a private event.
Yeah.
So to be very honest, I don't care if I have to hound them down in the fall. I just want an actual location where I call my home and I have all my events at for my new company, Fearless and Social. I just want to do live interviews basically. So
awesome. Okay. Great. Okay, Maggie S.
Okay. Yeah, it's confusing. For me, I guess anything tourism related, like any tourism board, and it doesn't matter where. I'm in Stony Creek right now, but who knows where I'll end up whenever. So any tourism board or any maybe independent hotels, or the chains are pretty much dealt with corporately, although no problem. But independent hotels, B&Bs, anyone who needs coffee, like within it, because I'd like to get back to my tourism roots as much as possible.
Okay. So okay, all right. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna pick on Stephanie next. And you're on.
There we go. Okay, finally figured it out. I would say, I know the power of live events. So anybody that knows anything that's coming down the pipe live event wise, but I know that we're not doing a lot of that right now, or any other virtual events that may be coming that would be ideal for someone to talk about health or nutrition or wellness.
So like trade shows, like those types of events, Stephanie, or what type of event?
No, not necessarily trade shows. It would be more like like I've done a lot of virtual events where you get up on stage and talk about your topic. Right. But live events, like women's summits, business summits, professionals, professional women that are at an event listening to different spokespeople talk.
Okay. So any women in this group that are part of other groups that can connect Stephanie, if they're doing things coming up in the fall, definitely keep Stephanie in mind to refer over there. Okay. Okay. Adam.
Hello, everybody. How are you
Adam.
doing? I'm very tired. I did not get enough sleep last night. Okay. So company I'm interested in. So I heard a while back that Netflix now has, what does that sound? I have no idea if that's coming from my microphone or not. Anyway, I was like, Netflix is apparently opening up an office in Toronto. And the moment that I heard this, and as a guy who's a web developer, right, like that's one of the jobs that you hear that the most people want to work for either Facebook or Apple or Netflix or Google or whatever else. So I know that that's a very, very stereotypical kind of understandable answer for a developer. Because when I heard that they're based in Toronto, they're having offices based in Toronto now, I'm like, oh, do tell. I have a snowball's chance in hell of probably getting in, right? But because it's a very competitive field and there's a lot of people that want to work for a company like Netflix, but I figure that it'd be interesting to see what kind of what the workload is, what the workload is like, what your typical day is like there, how they manage things, how they manage projects and milestones and sprints and stuff like that. Because I know that they probably work off of the agile methodology, and just kind of to take a look at to have a look on the inside and see what that's like, so I can have a goal worth aspiring to rather than just everyone's guess what it's like, better go throw resumes at literally every single posting and see what sticks, right? Or freelance, or
we got to try and find somebody who knows somebody at Netflix or is part of that project to get Netflix open in Toronto. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
I'm
Thomas.
gonna this out. So I can do this.
Sounds good.
First off, bounce off. Adam, don't sell yourself short because I know it's going to go back about a decade ago. I applied to RIM out of shits and giggles because I thought, hey, whatever. I ended up getting the job. Now, mind you, I got there when everything rolled downhill, but I still got the job. Like, I mean, I wasn't the cause of it going downhill. I'm going to put that out there. But I mean, no, don't sell yourself short though. I mean, honestly, that was for me back then. Nortel was going under, so the next best job was at RIM, and being in that network full of 70 million subscribers at the time, it was something else. So it's an experience I can't take away from for 2.5 years. So don't sell yourself short. You want to go for it, go for it. Throw your hat in the mix and see what happens. So, but on that note,
I'll give it a
as far as businesses, I can't say specific business. I think right now I want to focus on certain industries. Not to say that it's limited to that, but I mean, I want to put a little bit of a focus on certain industries. And I guess right now for the next little bit, I want to focus on professional services. So lawyers, paralegals, accountants, mortgage agents and brokers, even real estate agents, brokerages, and teams. Because I know sometimes, you got small pocketed teams that kind of branch out into their own little thing. They still fall under a certain brokerage, but they deal with their own, I'm curious to see if they still have their tech part of the main brokerage or if they have their own. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of going to be my focus for the next few weeks here, just to see if I can spin out there. And then after that, I'll see what's on the docket for the next set of industry that I'm interested in. So.
Okay, so pro services down in Windsor, definitely.
Just quickly, Thomas, have you ever talked to Owen?
I have not actually. I reached out way back when he was in his first office, not recently. So
okay, I'll hook you up with Owen if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
So, even at the same time, even if it's outside of the Essex County area too, like I mean, if it's up in Hamilton and all that, I mean, let's face it, with the remote services I can provide, anybody in those industries right now, if they're interested, I'd be more than happy to sit down and see if I can help them out or take over services, provide new or whatever the case may be.
Cool.
So
cool. Okay. All right. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, Teresa, you're next.
Liberal. I'm looking for any businesses that are interested in joining this great city.
That's good.
So, yeah.
All right, I'll hook you up.
The more the merrier.
That's awesome. Wonderful. Okay, thank you very much, Teresa. That's great. Okay, Sherry.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure if I was on mute. I have two actually that I want to focus on. So they're not company specific either because that sometimes doesn't really fit for what I do. But the first one is diversity and inclusion officers, coordinators, managers, whatever they go by within any of the larger companies. And the reason for that is because I work specifically in the area of supporting people with neurodiversity and ADHD specialization. So there's a lot of misinformation and lack of information, as well as lack of ability to help implement strategies for the employees they have. And so getting an opportunity to either speak to them as a larger group or just work with their human resources departments. And the second one is actually around financial services and real estate services as well. And that specifically is to talk to those entrepreneurs, because I do have some membership-based groups that there is a high percentage of people who would fit into that category. So that would be my ask. And that would be for, the strategy and focus related stuff.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Mike.
All right, so my answer would be pretty much the same as Thomas. There's no specific company or organization in my mind, but I would like to develop my connection with real estate agents, real estate lawyers, accountant. So if someone in GTA area, Mississauga, Brampton, that you can hook me up with them, that would be appreciated.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna pick on. Let's see. I'm gonna pick on Linda.
Because I was drinking that much.
You were. That's why.
You're drinking already?
Yeah, just tea, green tea, which is good for you. I've been what I have been doing right now is contacting doctors' offices, because a lot of their patients are looking for therapy. And of course, waits for therapy in psychiatry is very, very long through OHIP. So I've been getting successful there. So I think my next step would probably be naturopaths and maybe even other therapists who are overwhelmed and looking for help that I can help them with. I'll unload some of their patients.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. That's specific. I love it. Okay. I'm going to pick on Christiane Bristow.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Very interesting. Thanks for taking it in this direction, Ivan. What I'm looking for, I think at this point, would be in the downtown Toronto area specifically, because it's all about travel, easy to get to. Any large hotels, restaurants, like, for example, Oliver Bocchini, where I could be referred, or what I'd like to get to is kind of be their wedding officiant of choice. So on their vendors list, a priority vendors list for weddings and or emceeing of events, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Actually, I might know somebody downtown. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's great, Christiane. I'm going to pick on Victoria. Are you there?
I'm always here.
Of course.
I'm just quiet person, but I'm always here. We have some great news lately. We prepare young adults for the hiker competition, and it was done in Toronto, and our class won among colleges and different universities. So we are expanding our school, and we are doing, again, it's for the young adults and for high schools, high school and middle school students. We are doing a computer classes. So if you guys interested, if you have math and computers, if you guys have your your kids to learn about not just simple coding, but actually understand how the industry works, and actually by the end get a scholarship and be accepted to the good universities. So please touch base with us, because we guarantee success for the kids. Also, we were asked to create a course for the adults, how to run a business. For example, there's a lot of talking where we're going on today, how to connect to the people and stuff like this. So usually in the industry, people not trying to cut on the call centers, and they're using a virtual assistants. It's called virtual assistants. So you're not talking to the people. There is artificial intelligence. There is a different kind of tools that provide you for this, and they contact. And what happens that the client contact your virtual assistant, and when the virtual assistant knows that this client is potential for you and you can sell him, then he will contact you directly. So this is what I'm doing, and this is how I find my customers. And I was asked to prepare a course for the businesses, how to utilize technology and how to use technology, like how to use a Jira. Jira is a ticketing system. Some people may be familiar with this or not, how people using tools right now. That is, you don't have to pay for that, but you can expand your business and you can use it and simplify your process. So this is what we're doing. If you have any ideas, any clients, please contact us.
Wonderful. All right. Nothing cooler than teaching kids how to code. I love that. Okay.
It is cute, yeah.
All right, Yuri, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Of course.
So now that you covered everybody, I know what everybody's looking for, and
everyone's looking for you, Yuri.
So Sherry, David, Mike, Thomas, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to chat. Christiane, I do have I think second or third largest hotel owner, so I can I can make an introduction, see what happens there. As far as for me, I'm always looking for different opportunities kind of thing, but introduction to builder, land developer, land developer, would be great because I have tons of buyers that looking for new or pre-construction, and I don't have anything to offer because the property is flying like pancakes. And on the other note, I'm also looking for interior designers, architects, that basically, if somebody, for example, has a lot and we can build on it, but I need an architect, and then eventually I need a interior designer. Not so much stager. I know so many stagers, but an actual interior designer, and also professionals that might be looking to purchase the business, like an accountant. They want to buy an accounting book, or a dentist that wants to start their own practice. I can help you with I can help with financing and buying the property and setting it up. I have people that specialize in medical centers, so I can help in that direction.
Cool. All right.
Is there a certain area, Yuri, or is it the whole province?
Oh, I know it's all over the place. It's if I have to go to Windsor, that's fine. Ottawa is fine.
Okay,
Doesn't matter.
I have three builders that I work with that do a couple commercial, but all residential. So we need to talk.
Commercial is great. I love commercial.
Me too, Yuri. My nephew owns an award-winning architectural firm.
Perfect.
Awesome.
We'll be chatting, David.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, folks, listen, we're 3 minutes over time, but I really, really appreciated this conversation. I hope you guys learned something about sales and why just, use all channels that are available to you out there, and don't be shy. And I really appreciate the networking and the referrals here. So even if you think about it after the fact, or anybody who happens to be watching this on YouTube, then please reach out to our to the members. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go on to This Great City on YouTube and definitely subscribe. Okay, just to recap, folks, right afterwards here we have our work group lounge. I call it the work group lounge because it's not a typical work group. So you can hang out and join the conversation.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you too. Also, tomorrow, City Leaders, you have your call at 10 o'clock. And also, Wednesday evening, we have Investing Club with Stephen Lee. And Thursday morning, Adam Kafaji is leading on Tech Talk. And then Thursday, thank you, Catherine. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Oh, okay. Thursday at 1 p.m., we are having our first hybrid meeting for the Women's Business Club. Yay!
Nice. That's live and virtual.
Yes. So Lindsay is not going anywhere out of Hamilton until Friday or Thursday at 2, just so she knows now. But yeah, we're going to have a meeting, and it's all about what was the business book that made the biggest difference to you, that really changed your epiphany, if you will, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Women's Business Club, folks, if you'd like to be part of the Women's Business Club and you haven't yet, then please reach out to Catherine or
Lindsay or
Lindsay,
Teresa or Sherry.
Or Sherry, that's right. Okay. So definitely reach out and make sure that you let them know so that you can get on that club. All right. Thank you all very much. Thanks for joining in. See you next Monday.
Hi, everyone.